like to support the channel. Also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. All right, so I know this is a topic that's pretty sensitive to Black women directly out there, but it is what it is. And I know that you're going to have some Black women that will say, or the ones that normally say, well, Black women wouldn't have to do this if Black men would actually love us in our natural, and they wouldn't like other women with this type of hair forcing us or coercing us in order to change the way that we like in order to be deemed more attractive. Look here, I done heard all the excuses in a book, and I'm just going to clearly say this as a Black man. Any girl during the time of me going through middle school and high school and after that, all of them made their own decisions on the hair that they wanted to wear, how it is that they wanted to be presented, right? Or how presentable they wanted to be to the outside world. None of their hair decisions had anything to do. There was never, ever at a point in time of any of the Black girls that I dated at the time or the Black women that I dated at the time, at no point in my life did I ever make a prerequisite, or did I ever tell a Black woman like, yo, this is the type of hair I expect out of you. You better come out this house. You better make sure you look presentable. Your hair better be blonde and straight and flowing. And I've never said that. I've never asked of any of that. And again, whenever Black women want to do their hair, they're going to do their hair. So whenever they go to the salon, they're going to either, get it dyed, they're going to get a perm, which means that they're going to use caustic chemicals such as lye, which is highly corrosive, or even the dyes as well. And again, Black women are some of the main ones that suffer the most when it deals with fibroids. And when you happen to do enough research and you look into this, you will find out that Black women use a lot of caustic chemicals. They use a lot of chemicals that seep directly into the skin. It doesn't matter if it's the eyeliner. It doesn't matter if it's the base for the makeup or the pounds of makeup that some women like to put on. Doesn't matter if it's the lipstick, right? It doesn't matter if it is the hair dye or if it is the lye or whatever type of chemicals that Black women happen to use directly on their bodies. All of these things seep directly through the skin and into the body, right? So again, this is something I've talked about before, and this is why I have been against certain types of things when it deals with Black women, such as, dealing with hair and also makeup. So this is why I have always stated and always had a preference for, if there is any makeup, it's very little. Very, I mean, very, very little. Right? And if it deals with the hair, we're going to have some conversations. And again, I don't care how any woman out here feels specifically about this. At the end of the day, I'm worried about the effects of the chemicals directly on one's body. So I'm going to, if I care about that person, if I'm with that person, again, I don't want to see them in, any type of pain or going through any type of suffering, because I've been through doctor's visits, in relationships. I've been there to listen to doctors talk about, fibroids and all different types of things going on, with the woman. So again, I understand it might not be directly firsthand, but it's as close as firsthand as a guy can get. And also, again, this is coming from a Black man who has Black women directly in his family, and the women in his family also suffer from fibroids as well. So again, I'm just putting that directly out there because I'm pretty sure somebody's still going to try to make some type of excuse like, oh, we got our own autonomy, we can make our own decisions, and yada, yada, yada. Again, all I'm just trying to say is that for decades and for times that I wasn't even thought of, you have Black men that have always stated to Black women like, hey, stay in your natural. Don't go the route of putting harsh, corrosive chemicals into or on your body in order to get this ridiculous standard of beauty that somebody else basically set. Stop doing that. For decades, you've literally had black men doing this. And not even only that, you've had commercials. Because I actually took the time to look at some commercials back in the day. I'm talking about like the 70s and the 80s. And back during those times, they had commercials where they showcased black women with their natural hair. And I'm talking about you had the largest quote unquote crowns, right? You had black women with froze, right? This is during the time frame that black women knew how to take care of their hair and they would do the work. They would manage their hair versus now it's more so, hey, I'm just going to be lazy with it and I'm just going to sit up there and slap on a wig every single, month or whatever it is. And I'm just going to keep my hair in braids. And because of this, you have a lot of black women out here that don't know how to deal with their hair. They just don't. They just don't. You have a lot of black women that don't know the first thing about their own hair. So this is why they got to keep going to the salons to go get wigs, to go get installs, to go get braids. A lot of women right now don't even know how to braid their own hair. That's the craziest part. Because like I said before, when I was growing up, a lot of black girls knew how to sit up there and braid hair. That was just a skill that they had because, hey, you got brothers, you got sisters, you got other people in the family. This is just an extra way to sit up there and make money. Like, this was a skill set that a lot of black girls in the area, right, had. I can't speak for that now. It's a whole different thing. I don't know what the skill set would even be at this moment in time, but I promise you it really ain't that, right? Because if it was, you would see a whole lot more salons and different things like that popping up, versus the online stores and clothing stores and eyelashes and all this other type of stuff that women seem to do online. So, like I said before, like this is bad. This is bad. At no point in time should a black woman have a scalp or a forehead that looks anything like this. This is close to a Naomi Campbell look. If you don't know who Naomi Campbell is, you might want to look her up, because when you see her without her hair, or you see some of the pictures, you'll see how her hairline is pushed all the way back. And that's because she always put on wigs for years and years and years. I'm talking about decades. She was just throwing on wigs, and everything caught up. And this is the main thing that a lot of women don't seem to actually understand when they throw on a lot of these wigs, and they also throw on that very harsh glue on their very soft and sensitive skin. It's going to tear it up. It's going to make it raw. Whatever you got there is not coming back. Whatever baby hairs you used to have, it ain't going to be there. Whatever sideburns you used to have, it ain't going to be there either. So it's like forever and a day, you're going to have to always put that on, because now you're going to be embarrassed. Now you're going to be forced to. Now, because it was a look that you said that men forced you into, now it's going to be a permanent look because you just kept doing it. Again, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this: women have choices in how it is that they want to look, what it is that they want to put themselves into, dressing, and everything in between. Women have full autonomy. At no point in time do black men have any control over what it is that black women wear, do, speak, walk, eat, whatever you want to put it on. So again, I'm tired of the narrative that always comes up whenever these videos or whenever these examples basically arise. Stop trying to blame or stop blaming black men for this. These are things that women want to do because they are in competition with other women. And because women are in competition with other women, women are going to do whatever it is that they have to do in order to give them that advantage, to let the other women know, or that other woman know, that they are the best or the better woman, so that they can get picked or chosen by the millionaire or whatever guy directly out there that they seem to be fighting over, and they're trying to do whatever they got to do in order to attract that guy. Again, stop blaming black men for things like this, even though we already know for a very long time black men have loved natural hair, and black men have done their best to try to inform and tell black women that in a multitude of different ways. But black women decided not to pay attention, not to listen, and to not read the writing that is directly on the wall.